Okay, good morning everybody, and Hazak Baruch. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful Wednesday morning as we are studying together Perashat Lech Lecha. Today's class is sponsored anonymously for the Refuah Shelema of all of Am Yisrael. Hashem should see our tefillot and our learning, and He should give us good news for all of the Cholim. Amen. Rabotai, I'd like to share with you a very, very, very beautiful Rabbeinu Bahye over here on our Perashat Lech Lecha. Please turn to chapter 15. Our chapter deals with the famous covenant of the parts, the Brit Ben HaBetarim, that Hashem tells Avraham the future in a way, and He tells Avraham good news and bad news. And He starts with the bad news. Vayomer le'Avram Yadoa teda ki ger yeh zaracha be'eretz lo lahem. He says to Abraham, you shall know that your offspring will be strangers in a land not theirs. Va'avadum ve'inu otam 400 shana. They'll be enslaved and oppressed for 400 years. Ve'gam et hagoy asher ya'avodu dan anochi. And also, I will execute judgment on the nation that they'll serve, which is in this case Egypt. An interesting question is asked by the commentaries. Why is Egypt getting punished if Egypt didn't have a choice in the matter? It was already decreed that they're going to have to be slaves to Egypt. So why is Egypt getting punished? They didn't have a choice. They didn't have free will. So that question, very, very interesting, big philosophical question over here that everyone discusses. And bottom line, there's different ways to answer. Some say that they got punished for doing more than they were supposed to. No one said to kill babies. The prophecy was that you'll enslave them. Who said you're going to kill them? That was your own wickedness. That was your own horrible character, and for your evil, for your cruelty, for that you get punished. That's one idea. That's one answer. The Rambam answers that who said it's going to be to Egypt? It doesn't say here the word Egypt once. I threw that in. The pasuk doesn't say. Egypt chose to be the evil one, to be that nation that's going to enslave them. But that's your own volition. Okay. Now Rashi goes through the math. And he wants to know, where do you have 400? It doesn't really match. But either way, moving along, Vegam et hagoy, and I'm going to judge that nation with 10 plagues, Rashi adds. And then the Jewish people will leave birchush gadol, which is always for us something that we like to hear, with a lot of money. Okay, if we're going to get money at the end, it's maybe worth it. Ve'ata tavo al avotecha b'shalom, and you will return to your forefathers in peace. Now we already saw actually last week, we hinted to this pasuk. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'hakol niyeh b'ro. We hinted to this pasuk last week, if you remember, and we spoke about the idea that Abraham's being promised here that he's going to be buried and welcome to his forefathers. His father was an idol worshiper. His father was Terach. I'm not sure what kind of good news that is, that you're telling him he's going to be reunited with his father. His father's burning in Gehenna, no? Why is that good news for Avraham? And then we saw last week that actually you see from here that Terach repented, and then we saw the Rabbeinu Bahye that it wasn't actually Terach who repented, but Avraham was able to be that, the legs, so to speak, of his father, Terach, lifting him up and up and up by being righteous down here. And we saw the idea over there of Barak Ra'ad Abu. A child is the legs of the father. And a child needs to know that when their parent passes away, it's not the end. There's still more that you can do for your parents, because there's actually more that you can do now that they're gone by lifting them up and up and up, like Avraham Avinu did. Now, let's go to Rabbeinu Bahye. He begins and he says, Al derech hapshat be'uro ki ger yeh zaracha be'eretz lo lahem. He says the first thing you need to know is that the simple reading, because again, let's read the pasuk. Yadoa teda ki ger yeh zaracha be'eretz lo lahem va'avadum ve'inu otam 400 shana. They'll be strangers and servants, enslaved and oppressed for 400 years. Where do you put the comma in that sentence? It says that the Rabbeinu Bahye over here, Ki ger yeh zaracha be'eretz lo lahem 400 shana, says, no, what it means, you have to read it like this. Abraham's offsprings will spend 400 years in a land that's not theirs. Va'avadum ve'inu otam, and they'll also be servants, but we don't know for how long that portion will be. Ve'lo piresh kama yu yemei avdut ve'inui. When it says 400, it doesn't mean slaves for 400. The word 400 is going back on the strangers part. They'll be strangers and oppressed for 400 years. So he's saying that the 400 years is going back on the first half. They'll be strangers for 400 years. For how long will they be enslaved? We don't know. Because matter of fact, we know the Jews were enslaved for 400 years. The hard work, the torture lasted for maybe, they say, 86, which is right how long when Miriam was born. And by the way, the name Miriam has in it the word mar. Mar means bitter. Because when she was born, that's the year that the affliction, that the oppression started. So they called her Mar, Miriam. So the slavery was only for 86 years. But the Pasuk says 400. So the answer answers Rabbi Bahya on a simple level. 400 is going on the stranger part, not on the oppression part. Okay, beautiful. Now, 400 shana, look at this. I don't understand why 400? It's a very arbitrary number. Not a single commentary not a single commentary gives any insight into this number. So you're about to read something that's new. He's telling you, I searched, and you won't find an explanation. Most of what we say, there's already commentary, there's other opinions. But Rabbi Bahya is telling you, most of what I'm about to tell you, I haven't found anywhere. I searched, but I had no insight into the number 400. So here we go. Watch this, my friends. But if you look, you will find that this is number 400. Whenever it's mentioned, it always is connected to ayin hara, the evil eye. The evil eye has to do, if there's one number to give to the evil eye, it's the number 400. Why? First of all, ki ayin ra, if you do the math, ayin ra, write that out. The word ayin ra, bad eye, numerically, ayin, let's spell out the word ayin. Ayin yud nun. How do you spell the word eye in Hebrew? Ayin yud nun. Ayin is 70, yud is 10, it's 80, nun is 50, that's 130. Ra, resh ayin, that's 200, that's already 330. And another ayin 70, 400. Ki ayin ra misparo 400. Wow. So first of all, the word ayin ra, 400. So evil eye, it's 400. Now, what else? Ot, we know every letter has a numerical value. Which letter has a numerical value of the number 400? Aleph is 1, Bet is 2, right? Which letter is 400? Ot Tav, the last letter. Tachlit kol haotiyot. The number 400 is also represented by the letter Tav, which is the last letter. And so too, Chen Ayin Hara mechale hakol. Ayin Hara destroys everything. The same way the letter Tav is at the end, Ayin Hara is the end of whatever you put your eye on, it'll end it. Wow. Now the question is, Avraham is being told here that his kids are going to be slaves for 400 years. Why does he deserve Ayin Hara? What did Avraham do to deserve the bad eye? You understand? Because Avraham added to his name the letter Hey, Shehi Midat Hadin, which is of the attribute of justice. Lekach shalta bo ayin hara. Now the evil eye gained power over him. Shehu mikoach hadin, and the attribute of justice decreed. Nigzar al zar'o lehishtabed 400 shana. Wow. We hear very powerful stuff. You won't find this anywhere else. Rabbi Bahya is telling you that Avraham Avinu, because God added the letter Hey, which we have to see in a minute, But the letter Hey, he wants to say, is Midat Hadin, is an attribute of justice. And therefore, Avraham now has an evil eye on him. And therefore, he now has a decree on his kids. Those kids that were born with the letter Hey that he was given. Remember, Vezehu she'amar, and that's what God tells him. Yado ateda ki geri zaracha. Know that your kids will be strangers. Kilomar, meaning, Zaracha, your children, hanolad, mi ben shnei hahin. Your children that will be born from the two Heys. Which two Heys? Which two Heys? The Hey that was added to Avraham, and the Hey that was added to Sarah. Remember, her name also was added a Hey. So two Hey, which is a super midat hadin, super attribute of justice, shalta bo ain hara, and therefore now evil eye has a grasp on him, and therefore they're going to have to suffer for 400 years. Now, why is the letter Hey midat hadin? Why is the letter Hey midat hadin? We know that the letter Hey is made up of two letters, really. If you look closely at the letter Hey, which two letters do you need to write to make a letter Hey? I want you to write it. I'll do it here so that you can follow along. Take a look. First thing you need to do is draw a dalid. Do you see it? Then inside the dalid you make a little yud. So a Hey, really, if you read it together, it's dai. What does dai mean? Dai means enough. Hashem actually has a name, Shin Dalid Yud. Shakai, we don't say it, it's a name of God. But it's from the word She'amar le'olamo dai. God said enough. Limiting. Chesed is showering with kindness. Dai is curbing the kindness. So the letter Hey is putting an end to the kindness. Matter of fact, this world was created with the letter Hey. Right? This world, the pasuk says, Behe bare'am, ele toldot shamayim ve'haaretz, behi bare'am. And our rabbis tell us, Behe bera'am. He created it with the letter Hey. This world is the letter He. This world is the letter Hey. The next world is the letter Yud. As an example, Yud is the smallest letter, very spiritual letter. That's the next world. This world is physical, Hey. And our rabbis tell us that if this world's like a Hey, why? Open on the bottom. Only two letters are open on the bottom. The Hey is one of them. Why? Because in this world, it's very easy to fall. Very easy to fall. Tiny mess up, you fall down, you fall right through. A person could destroy their career, their marriages. But then you'll say, but Rabbi, there's another letter that opens on the bottom. Which letter? Which letter? Het. Right? The het, I'll draw it on the corner for you. Same thing. Right? Het. See it also open on the bottom. So why is the world created with a Hey? Maybe it should be created with a het. The answer is because even if you fall, you can come back in. There's always a door open for a person to do teshuvah. Ki yeminecha peshuta lekabel shavim. Hashem has opening. There's always opening. No matter how far a person falls, he could always come back in. And the person needs to know that. Now you'll say, okay, Rabbi, so let them come back in. There's a lot of Dvar Torahs over here. Person could come back in from the same. Even the head, come back in. From the bottom, come back in. The answer is, you can't come back in from the bottom. Where you fell, you can't come back in from there. You have to come back, new avenue. You got to start new habits, new career, new life. Go to a new place. Meshane makom, meshane mazal. Often a person realizes that the place, their friends, this environment, the community that they were once part of that caused them to fall, they realize that it's not working for me there. I got to go to a new career. I got to find new friends, etc. So therefore, this world is the letter Hey. And this world is created in a way of a deen. Hashem, why did He put us in this world? Because you got to earn the next world. You got to earn it. No pain, no gain. No pain, no gain. You got to earn Olam Haba. If God puts us straight in Olam Haba, so that's kindness. but God decided you got to earn Olam Haba. So that's Midat Hadin. So this world, the Hey, is letter Hey. By the way, this is my own chidush over here. There's a rabbi in Pirkei Avot, and he says that saying. He says, Lefum Tza'ara Agra. You got to earn it. And you know what this rabbi's name was? Please turn to Pirkei Avot, chapter 5, last Mishnah. And this is my own chidush, so feel free to argue. Ben Hey Omer Lefum Tza'ara Agra. The rabbi who authored that sentence, his name is Ben Hey. The letter Hey and the letter Hey. Double Hey. You got to earn it. That is wild, I think. I don't know. Maybe I think there's some truth to it, I hope. Ben Hey says, Lefum Tza'ara Agra. You got to earn it. So Midat Hadin is the letter Hey. Die. Enough. Limiting. You got to earn it. Work hard. Now the truth is we had a separate class once that we spoke about that even that is really chesed, making you earn it. But without going there right now, yes, he was a convert. True. But why did he call himself Ben Hey? He could have called himself Ben Bag. The other rabbi, Bag also is Gematria 5. So Hey, Avraham, Sarah. Hey and Hey. But it's interesting that of all the things that he comes to teach us, he specifically teaches us something about Din, about Lefum Tza'ara Agra, about having to earn it. So over here says Rabbeinu Bahye, very, very sharp. Avraham Avinu, he gets the extra letter Hey, and therefore now he has on himself Ayin Hara. Ayin Hara. Very, very interesting. By the way, all the letters has a partner. So let's go to the tens. The letter Aleph, 1, how do you make it 10? You need a tet, 9. So when you add 1 and 9, you get 10. So 1's partner is 9. The letter Bet, 2, who's his partner? 8. Het, right? To get to 10. Gimel, who's his partner? Zayin. Dalid, Vav. But the letter Hey has no partner. You understand? So Hey needs Hey. Hey needs himself. So again, Avraham and Sarah, Hey. I'm sure there's maybe things written on this already, but these are just raw thoughts that are coming to my mind now. And therefore, Avraham Avinu, because he has the letter Hey, which is a Midat Hadin letter, he now has Ayin Hara on him. By the way, what's Ayin Hara? Ayin Hara is the evil eye. Evil eye. A lot of people, Gemara says, in the cemetery, if you see 10 people buried, 9 of them died through Ayin Hara. What does that mean? They died through Ayin Hara? Either the Ayin Hara that people placed on them, or the Ayin Hara that they had on others. You see, when you have Ayin Hara, when you go through life and you're looking at what other people have, you're hurting yourself most, because you are going to have no happiness. You're going to be bitter the whole time. You're going to be upset. Why did they have? And you're going to have heartache, and you're going to have high cholesterol, and you're going to have heart problems. So people die from having Ayin Hara. Not only Ayin Hara being on them, but also Ayin Hara that they have on other people by looking around. But either way, a person needs to know that if you want to be protected from Ayin Hara, what should you do, by the way? So some people say you put dollar bills on your car and then you won't have Ayin Hara. You ever saw that one? Right? Ayin Hara, different things to do. But by the way, when we fought Amalek, Moshe Rabbeinu, the Midrash says, he sent people that were born in Adar Bet. Remember, every few years we have 2 Adars. Because every other month, every 12 months has a zodiac, has a mazal. Adar Bet has no mazal. There's only 12 zodiacs, there's 13 months. If you're born in Adar Bet, you don't have, right? Anyways, and why is it Adar specifically that we make 2 months of? Why not Tishri, Heshvan? Maybe make 2 Tishris. So Adar itself represents Yosef, represents the fish. The fish, right? The fish is the zodiac, Pisces is the zodiac of Adar. And the fish don't have Ayin Hara because the fish, you can't see them, they're underwater. That's why a lot of the things that you buy to try to, repel evil eye, it's a fish. Dag, right? Dag they don't have ayin hara, right? So, coming back over here, the month of Adar, they sent to fight Amalek, people that were born in Adar Bet, Adar Sheni, because they don't have any zodiac at all. So they're in, first of all, Adar, and then plus they don't have mazal at all. They don't have any mazal to be affected. But God says over here to Avraham that he's going to be punished for 400 years. How does one be protected from ayin hara? So obviously the best way is to be low-key. If you don't want evil eye, stop showing off what you have. If you're going to build a huge mansion and then hang a little hand on the front door, I don't know what you're going to accomplish exactly. Oh guys, don't worry, I have a little hand so no one's going to give me evil eye. Chamsa, it's not going to work, right? By the way, that's why it's a Chamsa. Now you understand, right? What's a Chamsa? Chamsa is 5. 5, the letter Hey. Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalid, Hey. Hey is a Chamsa. So Avraham, the letter Hey is Midat Hadin. Hey is a Chamsa. Hey is Ayin Hara. Is it all coming together now? Now you see how it's slowly connecting, right? Either way. V'chen timtza. You'll also find this be'Ephron ha'Hiti. You'll find as well by Ephron. Remember Ephron, people? Ephron was the guy. Who was Ephron? We're going to read about him in a couple of weeks. He was the guy that sold the land to bury Sarah in. So Ephron had ayin hara. Ephron was very stingy, very greedy. Very greedy, wanted more. He saw something, he wanted it. That's who Ephron was. And his name Ephron, take a look. Ephron, ayin 70, pay 80. 80 and 70, 150. Resh, 200. You with me? So what is that? 350. And Noon, 50, 400. Okay? Ephron was a very stingy man. And therefore, how much does he sell the land to Avraham for? How much does he charge? How much does he charge? Unbelievable. Arba me'ot shekel kesef. 400. Because again, anytime there's ayin hara, there's the number 400. I'm not sure. Maybe that's why they call it the Forbes 400. Okay, maybe that's why they picked the Forbes 400. I don't know. I don't know if it's a mistake, but I don't know. I don't think it's a coincidence that the one place that you have the richest people in the world that everyone's reading about, and everyone is giving them ayin hara, and everyone is jealous, and they're jealous of each other, that the number 400 is used. V'chen timtza be'esav. And so too you'll find Esav, Hamitparnes mimidato shel Yitzchak. Esav, don't forget, who was really his job was to attend his father Yitzchak, and his father Yitzchak represents the attribute of justice. All of the success of Esav is because he connected to Yitzchak, and Yitzchak is the attribute of Din, and therefore Esav also had ayin hara. Esav was also very stingy. Esav also wanted more. Esav never had enough. He always looked people that were richer than him. Like Ephron, he wanted more and more and more. How many people have 1 million and they want 5 million? They have 5 million, they want 10 million. There's never an end to more, my friends. You need to know there's always more. And the more you have, the more you want. And families are ripped apart because of money, and people because of stinginess and ayin hara. Instead of being satisfied with what they are, instead of being content, they're looking to always have what they don't have already. And Esav was such a person. Esav, as much as he had, what did he say? Yesh li rav. I have a lot. Compare this to Yaakov, his brother, who said, Yesh li kol. I have it all. Esav lived life, I need more. I want more. I have a lot, but I could use more. Yaakov, I have it all. And therefore, Yaakov Avinu, what did he do when he gave his brother gifts? When he gave his brother gifts, Yaakov did, what did he tell his messengers? Ve'revach tasimu ben eder uben eder. Place space between each herd of animals. Spacing. Lama amar Yaakov ken. Why did he say this? Why did Yaakov make them spread out? Kedei lahasbiya eno shel oto rasha. To satiate the eye of this wicked man. And how many men does Esav come with, people? How many men does Esav come with? Esav is coming with 400 men. 400 ish. Isn't that amazing? This is wild stuff. You cannot make this up, people. You cannot make this stuff up. Rabotai, the number 400 that we find today is a very, very ayin hara number. It represents the last letter of the alphabet of Tav, the numerical value of Tav, because Tav is the end. Tav ends everything. It ends people's happiness. It ends your simcha. It ends your relationship. It ends the guy who you put the evil eye on. And again, I don't want to get too deep into ayin hara and does it work, doesn't it work? How do you defend? How do you throw it off? Today I'm more interested in just seeing over here the idea that ayin hara really, according to the Rabbeinu Bahyeh, hurts the person that has it. It hurts the person that you give it on to. The number 400, it's because of the letter Hey. The number 5 is also a deen number from the letters Dalid Yud, die, enough, limiting. Chamsa, the Chamsa that you give to someone, 5, Hey again. And the number 400, which is Ephron, which is Ayin Ra, which is what Esav came with, which is how much Ephron sold the land for. And that's why, he says, Rabbeinu Bachi, now you understand, very simple. You want to know why Abraham had to be his children for 400 years? What better number to pick? That's the only number to pick, 400, because that's the number of Ayin Hara. And now that Abraham is under the influence of the letter Hey, after it was added, but right now he's going to have to be subject to the number 400, and that is how much they're going to be enslaved for. But either way, I think we learn from here the valuable lessons of evil eye, of being modest, of being humble, of not letting other people's success to get to us. Remember the Forbes 400. The number 400 is no accident. When you see people that are on that list and we're looking up at them, it ruins us from having our own happiness. Forget about the people that are above you. In life, look below you. Look at the people that have less. Be appreciative of the people that have less than you, because you know what? There's always up and down. Where are you going to look? It's up to you where you look. You look up, you're going to be all upset. You look down, you say, wow, I'm so blessed. Look how much money I have compared to them. Don't look at the Forbes 400 in life, Rabotai. You won't have to worry about Ayin Hara. You won't have to worry about eating away at your own simcha in life. Okay, we'll stop over here. Have a wonderful day. God willing, we'll see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.